What is going on, everybody? It's me, it's your old pal, the original gamer StevieStrow, and we are back for another exciting color computer video game showcase for the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, also known as the Coco. And what I thought I'd show you today is not one, not two, but three Joust clones for the color computer. I'm going to start off by showing you a video I've recorded in the past, or a game I've recorded in the past, which is Buzzard Bait by Tom Mix Software in the Rugby circle. You know, there's only about 3 Joust clones that I'm aware of. This one is pretty good, but when you look at all 3 of them and you take it all in, you will kind of see what the kind of strengths and weaknesses were of each one. Now, this one did have a little bit of flicker on it, but the characters were very large. And this is a clone of the arcade game Joust. In Joust, you fly some type of bird. I suppose it's not technically an ostrich, because ostriches don't fly. Because this game is called Buzzard Bait, I suppose you're flying buzzards, but I'm not really sure what the birds actually were in the arcade. But it is a game of elevation, so you're lancing, right? So it's jousting is striking your opponent with a lance. You need to be higher than your opponent when you strike them, and I just missed out on that one. This was wave 2, which was a survival wave. Had I not taken an injury in this wave, I would have gotten a survival bonus, which I've now denied myself. And when you strike one of your opponents, what happens is they actually drop their egg. And that's how you completely defeat the opponent. The first thing is you have to strike them with your lance higher than theirs. That causes them to drop an egg, and then you have to pick up the egg. Now what happens is if you don't get the egg will rehatch. And when the egg rehatches, the riders will change colors, and the different colored riders have different difficulty levels. I'm actually facing riders of several different colors here right now. I've got red, two whites and a red. Here's the pterodactyl, the unbeatable pterodactyl. That is a thing you have to avoid. He just got me, that sucker. Now, Joust was a very fun game. Joust was a game that I would have to say I don't recall seeing any other games similar to it before it came out. A lot of the games in the arcade in the 80s were kind of inspired or, you know, ripped off from other ones. This was released by Midway. Midway created a lot of really cool titles. Thy Game Is Over. I'm going to try it one more time. And Joust is a game that I just don't recall seeing anywhere before. So how do I get this thing to start over? Here's all my pterodactyls. And so I need to hit a button. I need to hit R to reset. I don't know. Here we go. R to reset. All right, so 1 or 2 players. Let's try this again. This would actually support 2-player cooperative. Oh, did I hit 2? Yeah, I did. I hit 2. That's the other dude. That's fine. So he's going to draw some of the attention away from me, and that's fine. And so the cool thing about this was you had 2-player cooperative. You can both be playing at the same time. Individual scores, but you basically had a partner in crime to help you fight off these bad jousting things, whatever the heck they were. They're basically riders on some type of flying mount. I don't know what the mount technically is. See, there's a dude trying to get the egg is about to hatch. I just got the egg. Lucky me. So we've cleared wave 1. See, now this one says bonus for player cooperation, which means as long as we don't hit each other. This is different than survival now when you have 2 players. So now we just have to basically not bump each other. And since that person's down there and I'm up here, I think I've got a good chance of doing that. Although, shoot, I just got killed. So I'm hoping that that doesn't work against me as long as we don't kill each other. I don't exactly remember how that worked. But you can see here when I boink the birds, they drop their egg, and you get points for catching the egg. Now, if you're really crafty, you can hit the guys and you can catch their egg in midair. And depending on how well you did, you'd get that kind of extra bonus points for doing that. And, okay, that guy just got wasted. That's my other dude. When you get killed, you respawn. You have temporarily invulnerability. See, I knocked a dude out, and I caught the egg midair. And we got cooperation because we didn't interfere with each other, so that's fine. And so now what's going to happen is the longer you play, not only does it get more difficult, but the playing field changes over time. And so what's happening now is that the ground level is starting to burn away. And so you had a very flat platform on the bottom, and the entire bottom level was a safe level, but now it's kind of melted away on the sides, so only the center is safe. And what will happen over time is that these islands will kind of come and go too. On different waves, different islands will, okay, this is the gladiator wave. So now we actually are encouraged to take out your opponent. And I just took out that dude and I got 3,000 points. And why not? There's nothing he can do about it. He's not a real player. Now, one of the things you may have just noticed down here too is that now that the bottom floor is burnt away, there's a lava troll. There's a hand that will come up and try to grab the feet of, and the hand doesn't care. It doesn't care if it's a computer player or if it's you. So that hand will go after anything on the screen. Right now it's pulling down a jouster. And there's actually a lot of dudes on the screen right now. There's a lot of flying dudes. And so I'm not going to play much longer because I've got many more Joust clones to show you. But I wanted to show you this one again as part of this showcase where I'm going to show you all of the 3 clones that I am familiar with and I remember playing. This, there's different camps on which ones were people's favorites. I do think this one visually looked pretty darn good. As far as kind of like the little speckle patterns to make these islands look like they're made out of stone. The enemy creatures you fight are a little bit larger too. So I feel like the characters are a little bit better defined. But I do feel that the flapping movement is a little tiny bit jerky. And the animation's a little bit flickery. And the other thing that I do feel you lose out on is because the characters are larger, you kind of lose out on some of the screen real estate. So there you have it, folks. I just showed you a little bit of Buzzard bait, one of the 3 color computer clones for the popular arcade game Joust. The next game I'm going to show you in just a second here is Lancer from Spectral Associates. So stay tuned for that. We'll be right back. Hey guys, it's the original gamer StevieStrow here, and I want to talk to you about the Coco Crew podcast. Hosted by John Linville and Neil Blanchard, it is a delicious journey into retro computing featuring the Tandy color computer. So if you are into vintage computing, retro computing, old school gaming, and especially if you're a Coco nut who's into the color computer, you gotta check out the Coco Crew podcast at cococrew.org, also available on iTunes and Stitcher. And tell them the original gamer StevieStrow sent you. Alright, so the second game we're going to play here today is Lancer. And this was released through Spectral Associates in 1983 by Rick Lamont. And this one, I tend to favor the gameplay and the game mechanics in this one a little bit better than Buzzard bait. I felt Buzzard bait looked very well, but played a little bit jerky. This one didn't look bad. I feel it's more scale accurate, where the characters on the screen, as related to the playing field, are a little bit more better proportioned, and I feel that it's smoother. So we have different skill levels. There's 15 different skill levels. I'll start off around 4 because I'd like to be able to show you the game here. And so here we go. And now what I have is my dude, and you can see here my dude looks a little bit smaller. All right. I actually like the way these guys look. I think these guys look closer to the real arcade game. And I think now what they did here is they used some of the dithering effects here, where the dark brown is just a consistent checkerboard pattern of red and black for all of your stone islands, which doesn't look bad. It does give it a little color separation from the red lava and this kind of dark red or brown looking stones. And so what I do see here in the animations is I see the neck of my Buzzard kind of bobbing back and forth as I'm flying. And I feel like the control is a little smoother, and I feel like you have a sense of momentum when you fly and when you glide. You do get a sense of gliding, and you do get a sense of momentum as you are traveling through the playing field, which is kind of cool. And I just got struck by the dude. And so I think their characters actually look a little bit better, but they're smaller. And so I think there's probably different camps on who's what's the favorite Joust clone of these two. And, I think they both have their strengths and weaknesses. I think overall this one looks a little bit closer to the arcade, and I feel the playing of it, the smooth feeling of flying and gliding and everything else, to me just feels more intuitive, more natural. But I was a fan of Buzzard bait as well. So you can see the eggs here are starting to hatch. It's the same game, same clone of the same game, where you have to knock them off their thing and try to get their eggs. Now that one I got him at the same time. I almost picked up the egg. And I got their survival points. So that was round 2. I needed to survive that round without getting bested by one of the dudes. And so we'll play this for a few more rounds. I do, for whatever reason, right now, with the benefit of time and wisdom and experience, right now, if I had to pick my personal favorite of the two, I'm going to go on record and say it's probably this one, only because of the way it feels. I'm not judging it by how it looks, although there's nothing wrong with the way it looks. I'm judging this one by the feel, and this one feels better to me. And so I think I've said before that it would be great if we could somehow fuse the two games, where we could get some of the larger, more detailed imagery of Buzzard bait, but some of the smoother animations and game mechanics of Lancer. If we could marry these two games and come up with the perfect love child, that would be pretty awesome. So we're going to play this for a few more. I've got only one fighting dude left, I can see down there on my score. So we made it to wave 4. As far as high as I can remember playing, I know I've made it at least to wave 11. And different waves, what happens is certain islands kind of come and go. And so your safe havens where you think you can land, those tend to go away over time. And sometimes, for better or worse, I almost think having a larger open playing field is sometimes better, because it really gives you the room to get out of the way of all the dudes who are trying to mess with you. I got all kinds of eggs down here. I got to start grabbing these eggs before they just go to God knows where. All right, so let's go down here. I have a feeling that dude up top is going to be hatching pretty soon. And so what you will see is those eggs will start to crack open. You'll see a new rider show up, and then you'll see another vulture, whatever the heck it is, coming to get them. So that vulture now can't do anything. I've got one dude left to get. Let's get his egg. And I just got a free man. I didn't realize that. So now we're on to a new level, Energy Wave. I think this one here, you just have to pick up eggs for bonus. So I think it starts off with just a whole bunch of eggs, yeah. And so it's for points. What's going to happen is eventually, I don't think you have enough time to get them all, and so they're eventually going to hatch, and you're going to have to fight some of them. So you want to try to get as many as you can. And so at this point now, can I get that top dude? So right now there's only one dude I have to fight. Looks like the other Buzzard's having some issues too getting it, so maybe I can come down and get him. Okay, so now I only got to fight one dude. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. And I got his egg. See, now I just lost an island. Over time, these islands will come and go. So now that top center island is gone. We're on wave 6, which isn't bad. Isn't bad at all. Yeah, so Lancer is cool. So I have not actually done an official game review of Lancer just yet. I did an unofficial one where we kind of did a live broadcast, and Curtis Boyle was with me and was chatting with me, and we were just kind of spontaneously deciding which games we wanted to play. This one came up in our discussions, and I played it, but I didn't record a formal video. So this is my first formal video recording and game review of me playing Lancer by Spectral Associates. And other than me playing very badly and getting pummeled by these guys, I like the game. It's a fun game. Minimal flicker. I can still see the flicker, but it's not nearly as bad. Okay, now I think I'm dead. And there's the pterodactyl. The pterodactyl. I have a hard time pronouncing that word. I always say pterodactyl. But there he is. And the game is now over. And so that was game review 2. So this is Lancer, released by Spectral Associates by Rick Lamont. And the third and final game I'm going to show you is another clone of Joust that's called Pegasus and the Phantom Riders. And the cool thing about this game is it really took the game, it cloned the gameplay, but it really changed the whole dynamic of things, because you were now on these different islands and you're flying horses instead of birds. So we'll take a look at that one in just a second, so stay tuned. We will be right back.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
Okay, so for our third and final entry, we are now looking at Pegasus and the Phantom Riders, and it's saying that we're on Phase 1 Discovery. Oh, and I just got wasted. Now, it has the same Spectral Associates sound effects. It's a different programmer, and it has a lot of the same kind of glide feel to it, momentum feel to it. It's got a very cool animation when you turn your horse around. So I am now fighting horses instead of birds. There is no actual lance, so it's still the same concept of a joust where you have to be higher than your opponent when you strike them. The difference is you're not carrying any type of object or weapon. It's just the force of your horse striking them from above. And then what happens is that when you strike them, instead of them dropping an egg, they actually drop a tombstone. But the same concept, you have to pick up that tombstone, or that tombstone will materialize another rider, and they will come back and get you again. So what I do like about this is that there is scenery, and the scenery changes over time. And they did a halfway decent job of mixing up the color computer colors. This game and all these games are playing in a four-color, what's known as a four-color artifact mode. It was technically a black and white high-resolution thing that actually, through a fluke, we were able to get four colors. So the red and blue colors actually didn't really exist. They just appeared that way on the American televisions. And so not only was it cool to have just red and blue as these kind of bonus colors, but then what some really creative people did was to take the red, white, blue, and black and come up with different checkerboard patterns to create the illusion of even more color. So what you can see here is I've got kind of a solid blue sky, which looks light by comparison. The ocean is alternating lines of blue and black, so it looks darker. And my sand is a checkerboard pattern of red and white, and so that makes it look kind of orange. And so we now have many more on-screen colors, which is just, it was a treat to have this. I love the circling sharks in the background. You can kind of see the horses flying off from a distance, so they're leaving that island, and you can kind of see them getting closer as they come to you. And so you are the white horse, and they are the black horses. And so I haven't really noticed if different riders have different color wings to indicate if they're a different difficulty level. Right now on this wave, they all have red wings, black horses with red wings. But I feel the animation is pretty good, and I feel that I'm not really noticing any flicker in this game at all. So unlike the previous two entries into the Joust clone collection here, this one I think does the best job of emulating sprites. And not only that, but sprites on a more complex background. Those other games had a very simple black background to deal with. This has a very much more dynamic background to deal with, and the foreground characters look very, very well. So I am flying around. Wow, that was close. And I just got spanked by that dude. But this was fun. I want to try this one more time, because what this does to kind of mix things up is as you go through more rounds, is you kind of, your background scenery changes, and you get closer to that island in the back. So let's try this one more time. And there's my cat, Mr. Gizmo Man, coming in here, wanting to know why I'm not in bed right now, hanging out with him. Mr. Gizmo Man, you're going to have to chill. Daddy's playing a game here. Oh, that was close. That was a tie. We kind of head-butted there. So what I'm seeing here, yeah, now that I'm paying more attention, even on round one, they are black horses with red wings. So I'm going to have to try to keep an eye out for the color changes to see if I notice those color changes. There's my first cross. I don't know how smart they are. I don't know if they're smart enough to say, hey, this dude's got to go get those crosses, so let's hang out there by him. I don't think they're doing that just yet. And so, yeah, the white on blue, the red and black on blue, the different colored foregrounds and backgrounds, I think this was a really good job of making the color computer look and feel like a real arcade system. The best simulated sprites we could get, and the most use of color and variety of color, which just really spiced things up. You will recall that the previous two games had a pretty much flat black background of just some red foreground. This one at least makes us feel like there's more colors in the world, which is nice. And there's kind of this tropical beach setting to it, which is kind of cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Sands of Egypt a bit. Okay, I got that sucker. Let's get his cross. Very, very nice. Wave 2 is still the same background, but after you play for a little bit, you will change. And I'm not sure, because it's been so long since I played this game, I don't know if there's a goal where you have to make it to like a certain island, or if there's like a boss or something, you know, for lack of better terms, like a mothership. That part I unfortunately don't remember. And for the sake of this video, it's probably not going to matter, because I don't think I'm going to get that far. But yeah, this was definitely taking Joust and just giving it, you know, just giving it a little shot in the arm, a little bit of a twist. You know, like we say on American Idol, sometimes you just got to make it your own. And I think they did that. I think they took Joust and they made it their own. This is a very cool version of Joust. Will I get this dude? I got this dude. I got the cross. I think we're going to see a scenery change now. Here we go. So now we are closer to the island, and we can see that they're coming from this island, but they shouldn't take as long to get here now because they're not traveling as far. Now I've only got two places on the ground to rest, and there's a big gaping hole in the middle that anybody can potentially fall through. Now there's also some white creature in the water there. I'm not sure what his role was, but when we were playing this live the other day, I believe Curtis mentioned that I need to be careful from that guy, and so I will. I wonder if he's kind of like in Joust, there was a lava troll that would reach up for you. I'm wondering if he will either reach up or maybe spit water at you, because he kind of looks like a whale to me a little bit. So maybe I will tempt him. I have one life left to live, as the old soap opera says. Let's just see how much further we can go. Let's see if we're lucky enough to prompt more scenery changing. I'm not sure if I'll be that lucky. Oh, I was so close to bonking that dude on the head. Come on, brother. Come on. I need to bonk. I need to bonk. Come on. Let's bonk. Can I get some combo bonkage here? Ooh, don't fall in that hole, Holmes. Okay, good. Oh, there's still two horses. You do start to get lost a little bit in the background, I think. Just a little tiny bit. Like when I got in front of that island, I had a hard time finding myself there. I just fell. Yeah, bad gravity momentum there. Yeah, I'm wondering what that white whale thing will do. Since I don't have any more lives, I don't think I want to tempt him. Oh, dude! Oh my God, I saved it! I pulled it back. I thought I was falling in there. So yeah, there is the sense of momentum. There is the sense that once you've kind of told your dude to go forward for a little bit, you can't just stop on a dime. You have to kind of wait for some of that inertia to wear off. Gravity does... Oh, that was so lucky. Gravity does mess with you a little bit. Okay. Wave 5. Okay, scenery hasn't changed yet. Can I survive one more wave and see if I can find any more scenery? That, I don't know. That will remain to be seen. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you. Thank you for not killing me. Ah, well, I died, and that was it. So what you have seen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, has been not one, not two, but 3 different Joust clones shown for you all in one video. Wrapped it all up, put a bow on it, presented it to you as a gift, and there you go.
At Gsoft, we make games for the TRS-80 color computer, TRS-80 MC10, and Dragon computers. Our basic games cover the range of genres from arcade, to text adventures, to simulations, to 3D dungeon crawls. This is our latest puzzle game from Japan, Fruit Panic. So come on and drop by our website and download our latest games.
So, Merry Coco Miss right there. There's your little gaming gift. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been the original gamer, StevieStrow. If you did enjoy this video, then why not mash that like button, give it a big fat thumbs up, and let me know if you've got something you'd like to say. Throw out a comment and let me hear it. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd also appreciate it if you could share this video with your friends and share my channel with your friends to help me grow my audience. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye. And long live the Coco. Long live the Coco, people. Thank you. Bye-bye now.